24-hour bushcraft trip at a complete lonely island. I have only 12 items with me, and each full hour I will lose one item till nothing is left and I have to improve completely. How I will make this challenge and how good I am at that you will find out in this video. So if you want, stay tuned. Let's go! My backpack is unnormal heavy, and this is not because I have luxury equipment with me like a tent or anything else. No, it is because I create today another video here at this island for you, because for my outdoor job at the survival magazine I create today a special meat, and for this recipe I need a lot of meat. And this was so heavy to carry, and also vegetables, but I can only give you one tip: it needs hours until it's finished. So this is the only food that I have with me today. So we will unpack the backpack now together, and I show you which items I carry with me and also why, and then the challenge starts. These are my 12 items: string, fire box, dry bag for collecting water, flashlight, metal string, working gloves, a bottle which is also usable in the fire as a pot, saw, knife, axe, poncho, not a classical sleeping bag because I can use a poncho multifunctional. I can use it as a jacket, hammock, bedroll, whatever. And this here is my tarp, but it's not kind of real tarp. It has the small holes inside. It is more like a invisible piece of you know what I mean. And I hope it will not rain. The prognosis says no, but maybe I lose it anyway. This side of the island is nearly empty. There are only a small bushes, a little bit of driftwood, and that was it. And because of this, I don't use this place for my campground. This side here looks more interesting. There are a little bit of bigger willow trees, but there is a lot of bushland under it, a lot of blackberries, etc. with needles. And my feet hurt anyway because of the way to the island, so I don't need anything like that again. And also I had to carry all the firewood up there, so this is also a no. Here are some of those small pots, but I wouldn't drink this water anyway. It looks like it is there for several weeks with a lot of algae inside, so there is also no shadow, and because of this, this is not a resting place for me. Look, there are some wooden branches. I will carry them to my place later because I can use them anyways. And when it is not only to sit on them or use it as a table, these are perfect. As you can see, this side of the island is also naked, no shadow. And because of this I wouldn't use it. The sand here is so hot bare feet. So gladly I goes only around the water because there it is not so hot on the feet like there. Yeah, but this is also not a campground. This here looks perfect. No shadow also, but there is those driftwood tree. And I'm not sure if this is fixed by human hand or if it's natural, because each spring there is a lot of flood water coming down, and then all the driftwood arrived at this island. But I can create my own shadow there with the tarp, so I will use that. I fixed the tarp. It is a little smaller than I thought. that it would be, but this is my fault. So there is not so much shadow, but it is enough to lay under it. And I also collect some wooden boards that I can put my equipment on it, because I don't want to have the sand anywhere. And if I have the tarp until tomorrow, I can also put the tarp at the other side, because the direction of the sun will be different tomorrow. So now I will bring all my other equipment to this camp. Eika, komm her. Komm her, Eika. Schau, hier ist dein Platz. Hier ist dein Platz. Ja, fein. Uah. My plan was to let the Bivy bag closed, the poncho, until I go into the bed, because I wanted to sand free as possible, but I need a resting place for Eika in the shadow, so I just remove the sand in the evening before I go to bed, if I will still have the poncho. So, the hour of the truth. I already picked the first tool in the German scene, and it is lampe. That means if I don't have on fire, I will stay in the darkness. Maybe I can create me a porch that if I have to walk around. But I also think that we have full moon, which means I have a lot of light. I hope so. And otherwise, it is like it is. So I remove the lamp. I have here this bag. It is waxed cotton, and it was a bad idea to bring it with me, because the wax is like a magnet for the sand. There is sand everywhere. I should know it better. So this bag will be for each item that I have lost. And the first is the lamp. So, and what I have to do immediately is making fire. It is hot anyways, but I need a fire, because otherwise I will stay in the darkness tonight, and I don't want to stay in the darkness. So I'm happy that I don't lose the fire bag at first. As long as I have my saw, I want to make some firewood, because I want to have some big branches that I don't have to carry about the fire the whole time. Maybe it was a bad decision to not go upstairs to the tree area, because the heat is taking its price, so I don't drink enough. And finally I feel that it was not enough and I should have drank more. So I want to cut some firewood down. This here is perfect wood, because, can you hear this voice? When that wood is hanging in the air, that means that it's completely dry out. And driftwood, which is laying at the ground, looks dry because the bark is removed from the water, but often it is still wet in the inside and it will only smoke, and I need a good fire, not a smoking fire. So because of this, I collect a little bit more and then start the fire and relax a little bit. Like every time outdoors you have a plan, what do you think, in which time can you create which project, but often this time is just not enough. And today I have such a day where the time is just not enough. this should be enough for the beginning. If I lose the saw later, I can almost make wood with the axe, or just break it down, or use long branches and put them in the fire piece after piece. So there would be a way. But at first I have to start the fire. The next hour arrived, and that means I have to say goodbye to one of my items, and it is Paracord. That means also the natural garn. Everything is away. I really have to hurry now that I create a fire, because I could also lost my fire pouch, and then yeah, the evening wouldn't be so nice. So I create today another video outside, a special cooking video, and for this I need the sand hole. I will create the fire at first here inside of the sand hole, but later I will put the campfire close to my camp. So let's start the fire. I have here birch bark and some seeds. I hope I can start the fire because it's pretty windy. Whoa. Okay. Okay. It's pretty good that I have a good fire now, because fire wouldn't be a worry from me from now on. Almost when I lost the fire pouch, so I just have to take care of it. But the sand hole here is also perfect, because it's so windy here, and yeah, the fire wouldn't burn so well. Oh, it would burn too well and bring the sparkles all around. But inside of this hole, it's perfect. The next item I lose is the axe. So it isn't bad that I lose the axe, because I have the saw anyways. If I would lose also the saw, okay, it would be a little bit difficult. But I spent now so much time in cutting wood that I miss every other work, and because of this I can't cut any longer. Yeah, which would be really bad if I would lose the bottle now, because I haven't built a water filter yet, and I wouldn't drink those creek water, because yeah, this river is floating for such a long time. There are dead bodies, dead animals, trash, whatever inside, and no, I don't want to drink it. So I would drink it if I create a water filter and cook it, by the way, boil it, but in another way, no thanks. Then I would be either thirsty. I don't have to take care about the fire because it's burning anyways. That means I can walk around a little bit around the camp and searching for some trash to create a water filter. I am a stone collector. And sometimes I hate it, because it is like something you have to do. If I walk around a path like this, oh, I see stones everywhere, beautiful stones. Look at this. I'm not sure if you can see the sparkle, but there are so many beautiful stones, and it's really hard to collect just some of them. And today, on my way to the island, I was so angry because my backpack was so heavy And I thought, okay, no problem, it's just one way heavy. When you go back tomorrow, you will have eaten the meat, you will have eaten the vegetables, you have to drink the water, and your backpack wouldn't be so heavy anyways. But now I'm at the island and I see beautiful driftwood, I see beautiful stones, and I knew it that my backpack would be tomorrow, after leaving the island, heavier than it was when I arrived here, but I can't change it. There are some beautiful black rocks. I never saw them anywhere before. So this river is floating through different counties and different stone areas, mountains. So it brings a lot of different stones. Lekker! Ja! Hey, look, this is the work of the beaver. You can see here, can you see his teeth? He had fallen this tree. Many people think the beavers let the trees cut down because they are eating the wood, but no, they are eating the fresh leaves which is growing on the top of the tree. And in the best case, the tree is falling directly into the water and the beaver can eat directly out from the safe water. I don't know why, but sometimes you can hear the water louder than usual for a few moments and then it's silent again. I don't know why. So I was looking for some trash here. It's a good sign. I found nothing. But I really would need something to create a water filter. Maybe I have to look back there. Here are only the big branches of driftwood, the trees. But I think maybe I have more luck with trash on the backside. Actually, I'm wondering which side would be better for trash and driftwood. This here is the side that is quieter, so here. And I think trash like bottles or plastic planes are floating, and because of this, maybe they are floating at the side of the river and they're coming here to the closer side, but I'm not sure. What do you think? And which side is more trash and driftwood and everything what the river is bringing? The side with stronger water or the side with the slowlier water? Okay. You know what that is? This is from an old wood oven. It is the door. And this here, what looks like a part from a helicopter, is which brings the air inside of the oven. There is some part missing on top of it. And you can just move it, open it, that it get more air, or close it, that there is not so much air. I doesn't have any use of it, only for collecting bigger stuff like monster raspberries or anything like that. But I will take it at home because there is enough trash around anyway and I can carry it with my bag home. Oh look, glass, I love them, sea glass. Exactly for this I'm searching for. So in these willows there would be the trash and also the driftwood, but there is nothing inside. One rule if you are outside: always take more trash at home as you brought outside. Then nature will thank it. What you see here at the ground is a track from the beaver. He's searching for some green leaves up there, young branches with leaves. Cut it down with the teeth and bring it here down until he reached the water. And this is the sign of that. I was so sure that I found in areas like this, where the water ends normally, I will find trash and something like a bottle, but it doesn't look good. This here is the track of the beaver tail, which is going left and right. Look, I found a plastic bottle, but it's too damaged. Also, the tracks of those grass at the sand is amazing. These branches here are also beaver tracks. I found one. It looks like it is intact. No damage. I hope it works. So I was in the water again, maybe the 30th time today, because I have to use this weather. The German summer was so shitty the whole time. Rain, cold, temperatures like in fall. I saw people walking around with winter jackets in July and August. Yeah, I don't like that. So because of this, I have to go so often in the water, like I have to do it for the whole summer. So I have here the next thing that I have to remove. This is Draht, the metal string. This is a little bit bad because I want to try today on barbecue area out of willow trees in combination, willow branches in combination with those metal string. Yeah, now I have to try it the next time, or maybe I found some metal string trash around, but I'm not sure if this will work. For my water filter, I would normally use coal, moss, clay and cotton. So what I found over the whole day is a piece of cotton, but it's dirty. That means I have to cook it out before in my bottle. I have no clay. I'm pretty sure that there would be clay because I am on a river and at the riverbank there is often clay. But I don't want to dig a massive hole somewhere, and of course there's a lot of sand. That means I have to dig a deep hole, and I don't have time for that. I have coal, of course, from my fire, and I will use some of those grass seeds for filtration. So it is not the best, but it's everything I have. I removed the bottom of the bottle because I need the space to put all my stuff inside. So, and I also make small holes inside of this top, because when the holes are too big, the water will flow too fast outside. So honestly, the willow tree leaves and those grass seeds are not really necessary. I use it only because I found nothing else. The only necessary thing that I can use now for my water filter is the coal, because coal absorbs bacteria, which would clay also do, but I don't have clay, so I only can use what I have. So the only other thing that is useful is the piece of cotton. I also already put it into my bottle and I have to cook it out. It's not really clean, as you saw before. Yeah, but like I told you, I only can use what I have. I boiled this piece of cotton. Of course it is not sober, there's still moss, but I can change it. It looks like a car cleaner cotton or so. I don't want to know where it was before. So I will add these pieces which are not so dirty here. If I would have an hair gum, I would use it, but I only have one with me and I don't want to give it away. The sun is slowly going down. Looks beautiful, but it's not so good for me because I had to give away my light. That means the only light that I have is the fire, and this is not the most. it is too fast. The water should come out much more slowly, yeah. But I just don't have enough filtration material inside. I lose the tarp. That means I will wake up tomorrow very early because I have no sun protection. Maybe I try to cover me in the Bivy, in the poncho. Why not? It is made for that. The tarp wouldn't protect me from rain anyway, so this is no problem. But I have to create another camp. And I want to put all my stuff together because when it's getting dark, I want to have everything at its place. I'm not sure if you can see it, but the water looks pretty clean, but you cannot see if the water is drinkable or not. The clearest mountain creek could also be contaminated with a dead animal shit or poisonous from the surrounding. You never know, so always be careful. I have filtered a little bit of water. The bottle is full till here, so not that much, but better than nothing. And I boil it now in the fire, and I removed the silicone ring because the bottle can be in the fire but the ring not. The next thing that I lose is my fire pouch, which is not so bad because I already have a fire, but I'm not sure if I can hold the fire until tomorrow, that I can start it again. But I'm also not sure if I really need the fire tomorrow because the weather will be great again, I hope so. Yeah, and if I want to create a Stone Age fire starting process, I don't think so. The water is boiled long enough. I hope there's anything left, but I really think this water is so disgusting, and because of this I want to boil it as long as possible. But I really need it now because my brain is in slow motion because I don't drink enough. So I also made the decision that I give one item away before I pick the note. I don't use the gloves. I brought it with me because so many people always write, use gloves when you work, but I forgot it and I'm just not a glove type. So because of this I give it away, but I also have to give away another item, and this is the saw, which is really bad because I prepared the saw already there because I want to cut down some of the branches. The logs are burning much better if they have direct contact to the ember and not hanging in the air, and if they are so long they are always hanging in the air. But now it's too late. Do you know how uncomfortable it is to sleep directly on the sand? So after laying a little bit, it is complete hard like concrete. But yeah, my plan was to cut down some willow tree branches to have a little bit like a mattress. But I thought the tree needs so long to let it grow, and I cut it down only for one night. It feels wrong. I'm not sure if you can understand me, but it feels wrong for me. So I will just lay down at the sand. But now, when I've lost my tarp, it feels wrong to sleep there. It's just kind of naked. And I made a decision, behind my camp is a small line of small bushes, and I will lay down there. Then there is a barrier from one side, and normally when I sleep outside I have something like a wall, like a house, you know, a tarp or a natural shelter or a tent, but so completely naked. Yeah, not really naked, but you know what I mean. I'm not sure if I will sleep well this night. And there is also the fact that there is a beaver around, and I doesn't have heard a beaver sound so often, and I'm not sure if I wake up to this in the night, I can understand which noise is this. So I'm not so much looking forward to the night, but I'm pretty tired. Oh God, I look so tired, and I also feel empty. I'm really thirsty. I drank enough now, but I don't drink enough over the whole day, and I have headache now. I will eat something now. I create a second video today outdoors with an earth oven, and the meat and the vegetable is ready now, so I will eat that. And after I finish it, I will pick one last item for today. And if I have tomorrow in the morning still my dry bag and the bottle left, I will put half-half. If I lose something, that I still have something to drink. Yeah, and then I really want to go to bed now, because now it's dark, and I'm pretty sure I will wake up tomorrow very, very early. So I feel that it is going worse now. I was on the way to wash my hands after finishing food, and on my way back I saw lights in my eyes. So like a star which is rising, or like a sparkle from the fire which is slowly come in front of your eyes. And I know exactly that this must be because I've drunk not enough. So I will drink now my bottle until it is only a little bit left for the next morning, because I have to do something now. We must learn to hear what our body says again. So we lost this a little bit. And what I also lost are 2 more tools, because I am going into the bed earlier as I have planned, and because of this I am giving away 2 tools. This is the dry bag and the knife, which means I only have left my bottle and my poncho. I'm really glad that I don't lost my poncho, because without the poncho the night would be horrible. So it's not cold yet, but I just want to have a little bit of comfort and a little bit of feeling at home, you know. So I will show you my sleeping area, and then I pack all my stuff into my backpack, because I want that everything is sober. And also sometimes you have to leave in the night. Maybe you feel that something isn't right, you feel unsafe, you have your 7th sense that tells you go away. And if I feel something like that, I will leave as fast as I can. I was hearing something anyways. and I don't want to pack all my stuff if I have to leave. Of course, your life is at the first point, and you can buy everything again, but you will have only one life. I would left everything, of course, but yeah, I just want to be at the safe side, you know. So let's make ready for the night. I am not going to wash my body now because it's dark. I don't want to make a lot of light around. I will do that tomorrow in the morning. It will refresh my body and my soul. As comfortable as possible. It was so hard to bring the zipper pieces together because there is everywhere sand, everywhere. And it's so wet. It's so wet, you can't see it through the camera, but I think it's the air which is so wet because of all of the water around. I don't noticed it before because I was the whole time at the campfire, but now I can close the poncho at 3 sides. The 4th side is open, so maybe my head will be getting wet tonight. And I hope that the poncho stayed right at the inside. I have no idea if it is waterproof or only a little bit water resistant. I have no idea. I never used it as a sleeping bag before, only as an underground. But yeah, I just hope the best. And now I have to remove all the sand off my feet and hand, but I think it doesn't make the sand will be still inside from Aika. So Aika's sleeping at the side. There is the moon in the background. I just was wondering what is this light, but it's the moon. Yeah, so I hope I will sleep well. If not, you will see it in the next video minutes, and then we will find it out. Good night.
Good morning. Now after the shower I feel a little bit more like a human. The night was like I expected. Short, uncomfortable. Yeah, that's everything, short and uncomfortable. Like I have expected, the sand was after a few hours hard like concrete, and I feel like a whale, so heavy and unable to move. Every single bone and muscle is hurting. My poncho was pretty wet at the outside, but gladly not at the inside. So I've hung it up and I hope it will dry soon. The bath was so refreshing. I really enjoyed to go directly after wake up into water. I'm just a water person. And it's so sad that the summer is almost over. And these are the first days where you can go to swim. So northern Sweden had the better summer than us here in Germany. Okay, maybe I should move in another country, another land where the summer is better than here, because I am a summer person. I love also the winter, but in Germany we don't have summer and we don't have a real winter. So we have a rainy summer, maybe a few good days in fall, and then a rainy winter without snow. And this is something that I don't like. Okay, so I've got also a sunburn. Can you see the difference here and here? I saw it only at the camera display. But this shirt here, it is pretty thin. It is almost, you can almost see through it, but it was thick enough to protect my skin from the sun. It is a combination from bamboo and wool, which is pretty great. So the brand which make this t-shirt makes normally my sleeping bags from wool and down. A great brand, it's Grüzi bag. It sounds Swiss, but it's German, pretty close to my hometown. Yeah, and sadly I've got some holes yesterday because I was standing up under my construction and there are a few branches sticking out and I've ripped holes inside, and I'm pretty sad because of that, because this is one of my best shirts. Yeah, so I think I will go through and walk over the island. Maybe I find something to eat, because I'm hungry. The first edible thing is this plant here. It's called tree spinach, and you can use it like a real spinach. It always grows wild in my vegetable garden, and the taste is not so bad. The willow tree leaves are also edible. When you eat them directly from the tree, they are not so soft, but you can also cook them. This plant here is called in German Kratzbeere, which means scratch berry, and it grows often at creeks, rivers, lakes. From the size, it is like a raspberry, like a strawberry, and the color of a raspberry. I hope that's right, I'm not sure. Yeah, and they taste pretty good. Some of them are too old, but some are still edible. Yummy. This is something that I normally don't find here where I live. This is portulak, and portulak is edible. It's also a heal plant because it cleans the blood. And it tastes a little bit salty and like nuts. But I shouldn't eat too much of it because it's like dandelion. If you eat too much, you have to pee a lot. And I need that my water stay inside of the body until I've got home because I don't want to lose more water than it's necessary. The beaver was very active this night. I heard nothing because it was at the other side of the island. But here in the middle you can see the footprints here, and at the left and right side the tracks from the branches. So he is holding the branches in his mouth and bring them down to the water and to the beaver castle. So sometimes they live in a bunch of trees and branches, but sometimes also directly at the creek in a like cave where the entrance is underwater. There is a visible path. I'm wondering why the beaver is not taking these willow trees. They are not so far away, but we will see. And this, you can really smell the beaver. At first I thought it was a fox, but now with this track here it is clearly a beaver. The track ends here and there are some fresh cuttings. This is a tree that we usually don't have so much here in Germany. In German it's called Akazie. And in spring you can use the flowers for a beautiful syrup, or it's also you can also buy it as an acacian honey, which is also very tasteful. So when I review at the decisions that I've made with my equipment, I would definitely say that I would not need an axe, but I would add a water filter the next time if I do this challenge ever again. I misplanned this because I don't thought that the water will kick so much in the waterless. I've drunk one full bottle in the car before the walk. I drank a lot of home, but it was not enough. So the tools that I don't ever touched was the dry bag and the axe. And I think the most important tools was the fire bag, because without fire I would have no water, and the bottle to boil the water. This was the stuff that I would really need. And of course the poncho also helped me through the night. I am not sure how the night would be without the poncho. My mistake was that I don't prepared an alternative night camp earlier. Everything needs so much time because it was hot and I don't have enough water, and everything was so slow because of that. And this was a big mistake that I don't think about that before. So I would be not able to have a great bed without the poncho and everything what is there. Of course, I could build a mattress out of branches and put some leaves on it to make it softer, and I could make a coat out of grass, but it wouldn't hold the water away from me. It was so wet, the air was so wet yesterday. The night would be very uncomfortable without the poncho, so I'm glad I still got it at the end. yeah, and now I'm very curious, which 12 tools or equipment would you choose if you do this challenge? And try out this challenge for yourself. It really learned me a lot about myself, how far I could go, that I still can make mistakes, like not enough water. And so the time was pretty comfortable also without the equipment, but only because I've made so much in the beginning, like fire and like shadow for the camp. So, and firewood. Everything is possible without these tools, but not in that time and not so easy. But try it out, really try it out. You can learn a lot about yourself. So, what equipment would you add? Or would you choose a complete different equipment if you only could choose 12 items? So, this question is one of my last sentences in this video, because I'm out now. I will pack up my stuff. I've heard voices before back there, and I don't want that someone interrupt me without preparing for that. It was a great time there. I really enjoyed it. It was so quiet and silent. I calmed down a lot, and because of this I've always make this. And I want to know how far I can go. Yeah, the weather was great. The area is great. The swimming was great. It was a great experience. I'm glad I've made it, and I learned a lot. So, thank you for watching, and I'm out. Have a great time. Bye bye.